Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel, where we uncover hidden treasures, explore rare finds, and deep dive into the fascinating world of coins, currency, and collectibles. Today, we are focusing on a coin that has caused a stir among collectors and enthusiasts alike, the 1996 £1 coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II, famously known for its unusual feature often referred to as the no mint mark error or the Decus et Tamen error coin. Now, at first glance, this coin may seem like just another British £1 piece from the mid-90s, but there's more than meets the eye. Whether you stumbled upon one in an old coin jar, inherited it from a relative, or discovered it in a collection, this coin might just be worth more than you think. Stay tuned, because in this video, we'll cover the complete history, design details, origin of the error, myths versus facts, current collector interest, and of course, what this coin could be worth in today's market in the year 2025. The year was 1996. Britain was still using the round £1 coin that had been introduced in 1983 as part of a currency modernization initiative. These coins were produced annually with different reverse designs to represent the four nations of the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The 1996 coin was specifically issued to represent Northern Ireland. On the obverse, we see the third portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklauf. This effigy of the Queen shows her wearing the George IV state diadem, facing to the right, as is tradition. Surrounding her portrait is the Latin inscription signifying her title as Queen by the grace of God and Defender of the Faith, along with the year of issue, 1996. Turning to the reverse, the coin features a beautiful and symbolic design. It shows the broider collar, an ancient Celtic gold torque, along with a cross and Pimpernel flower in the center. The design is steeped in history, nodding to Irish heritage and the richness of its archaeological past. The words £1 are inscribed clearly around the artwork. The edge of the coin is particularly interesting and relevant to our discussion. It features an incuse edge inscription, the Latin motto Decus et Tamen, which translates to an ornament and a safeguard. This phrase has long been used on British coinage and refers to the original intent behind edge lettering, which was to prevent the shaving of precious metal from the coin's edge, a form of fraud that was common in the days when coins were struck in gold and silver. The coin was struck in nickel brass, had a weight of approximately 9.5 grams, a diameter of 22.5 millimeters, and a thickness of around 3.15 millimeters. It was round in shape, solid and durable, designed to withstand decades of circulation. The Royal Mint released tens of millions of these coins into circulation. It was, by most standards, an ordinary release, but that's where things get interesting. Now let's get into the reason why this seemingly ordinary 1996 £1 coin is getting extraordinary attention in recent years. The alleged minting error, often described as a no mint mark issue or, more commonly, the upside-down edge lettering or Decus et Tamen error. To understand the nature of the error, we need to first understand how edge inscriptions are applied to coins like this one. Unlike the obverse and reverse, which are struck during the pressing process of the coin's minting, the edge inscription is usually applied separately using a collar die. Depending on how the blank coin, known as a planchet, enters the coining press, the edge lettering can be oriented in one of two ways, right side up or upside down relative to the Queen's portrait. In the case of the 1996 coin, many collectors began to notice that the edge inscription, Decus et Tamen, appeared upside down when holding the coin with the Queen's portrait upright. This led to widespread claims of a rare minting error. The term "no mint mark" also began to surface in connection with these coins, although it is important to note that regular circulating British £1 coins from this era typically do not carry visible mint marks. Therefore, the absence of a mint mark is not itself necessarily an error, but it became a part of the coin's mystique and nickname. The real focus, however, was on the orientation of the edge inscription. Many sellers and collectors began to label these coins as error coins, attributing rarity and value to the upside-down lettering. Listings began appearing on online marketplaces with prices ranging from tens to hundreds of pounds, and in some cases, even higher. Some coins were labeled as extremely rare, mint error, or collector's dream. But the truth is more nuanced. So, is the upside-down edge lettering actually a minting error? Or is it a normal, albeit less common, variation? In reality, the process of edge lettering on coins like the 1996 £1 piece does not ensure a consistent orientation. The edge inscription can appear either way depending on how the planchet was placed before the coin was struck. Since no formal standard dictated which orientation was correct, both types, right side up and upside down, were technically within minting tolerances. This means that while it may appear unusual to the untrained eye, an upside-down edge inscription is not classified by the mint as a true error. It is, instead, a natural result of the production process. However, this fact has not stopped collectors and sellers from marketing these coins as rare and valuable. The fascination with the coin has grown, particularly because many people are unfamiliar with the minting process. The upside-down edge inscription gives the impression of a mistake, and in the world of numismatics, the mere perception of rarity can drive demand. Over time, as more collectors began searching through their change and coin jars, some discovered that they too had these so-called error coins, leading to a small boom in the market. Social media posts, coin forums, and online videos further fueled the attention. What was once an overlooked detail became a collector's topic of interest. So where does that leave us in terms of actual rarity? While the coin is certainly interesting and the edge orientation can be considered a variety, it is not currently recognized as an official mint error by most numismatic authorities. However, since the general public and casual collectors often misunderstand this technicality, the demand has remained strong, particularly for coins in excellent condition. What truly separates valuable specimens from common ones is condition. A 1996 £1 coin in poor or circulated condition with edge lettering upside down may not fetch much. However, if the coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, clean and free from blemishes, it could attract significant interest, particularly from collectors looking to complete a variety set or those intrigued by the story behind the coin. Another important factor is certification. A coin that has been professionally graded and authenticated, especially one preserved in a certified holder with a high-grade rating, will command a premium in the market, while the upside-down edge lettering itself may not be rare enough to drive prices into the thousands. The combination of unique features, strong collector interest, and the coin's age have contributed to elevated market values. Now let's talk about what really matters to many of you watching. What is this coin worth today in 2025? As of this year, collector interest in British £1 coins from the pre-2017 series continues to grow, especially for unique varieties. The older round pound coins were officially withdrawn from circulation in 2017 and replaced with the newer 12-sided bimetallic version. This means that all round £1 coins, including the 1996 issue, are no longer legal tender, increasing their appeal as historical collectibles. For a standard 1996 £1 coin in average circulated condition with no notable features, the value remains low, usually between £1 and £3. However, a coin with the upside-down Decus et Titamen edge inscription, even in circulated condition, can be listed and sometimes sold for much more, depending on the buyer's level of interest. Here are some estimated value ranges in 2025, in average circulated condition, with visible upside-down edge lettering. The coin may fetch between £20 and £50 from an interested buyer. In lightly circulated or very fine condition, that value may rise to between £50 and £100. In extremely fine or near uncirculated condition, values can range from £100 to £200 or more, depending on presentation and provenance. In mint state condition, especially if certified and encapsulated by a grading authority, the coin can reach prices of £250 to £500, particularly if the coin is well marketed and sold to an eager collector. It is worth noting that while some listings online may ask for prices exceeding £500 or even higher, these asking prices do not always reflect actual sales. The real value lies in the final sale price and the agreement between buyer and seller. In conclusion, the 1996 £1 coin with the Queen Elizabeth portrait and the upside-down edge inscription has become an item of intrigue and debate within the numismatic community. While it is not officially recognized as a true mint error, the perception of rarity and the visual peculiarity of the edge lettering have contributed to its collectability. Collectors should approach these coins with both enthusiasm and caution. If you own one, consider getting it evaluated by a professional before attempting to sell it. If you are a buyer, make sure you understand exactly what you are purchasing and always compare prices and past sales. Whether or not the coin is a true rarity, there is no denying that it has captured the imagination of coin lovers and casual collectors alike. Its connection to British history, its elegant design, and its mysterious edge inscription make it a fascinating piece to own, discuss, and display. We're diving deep into a coin that millions of people have touched, but very few truly understand, the 1987 P. Washington quarter. At first glance, it may look like just another quarter. But when you examine it closely, learn about its background, and understand what truly makes certain examples valuable, you'll see that this unassuming 25-cent coin can be worth far more than its face value, and in some rare cases, even hundreds of dollars. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist, a beginner collector, or someone who found a shiny 1987 quarter in your change and got curious, this video will walk you through everything you need to know. Let's begin with the story behind the coin. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency for nearly a century. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, it replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a permanent fixture in circulation. By 1987, the Washington quarter had already undergone a number of changes in terms of its composition and production methods. After 1964, the United States Mint ceased producing quarters with 90% silver content. In its place, a new clad composition was introduced, consisting of a core of pure copper and outer layers of a copper-nickel alloy. This made the quarter more cost-effective to produce for widespread circulation while maintaining a silvery appearance. The 1987 P. Washington quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is represented by the P. Mint mark located just to the right of George Washington's ponytail on the obverse side of the coin. The Philadelphia Mint was responsible for producing the majority of circulation coinage, and 1987 was no exception. The design of the 1987 P. Washington quarter remained consistent with the classic image established in 1932. The obverse, or front side of the coin, features the profile of George Washington, modeled by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington faces left, with the word Liberty inscribed above his head. Beneath his chin is the national motto, In God We Trust, and the year of minting, 1987, appears below the bust. The P mint mark is located to the right of the ribbon tying Washington's hair. The reverse side of the coin features a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness for defense. Below the arrows lies an olive branch, representing peace. Arched across the top are the words, United States of America, while the denomination, $quarter, appears along the bottom edge. The national motto, E pluribus unum, is situated between the eagle's wings. In terms of physical specifications, the 1987 P Washington quarter has a diameter of 24.3 mm, a thickness of 1.75 mm, and a weight of 5.67 grams. It has a reeded edge, giving it the familiar ridged texture along its rim. In 1987, the Philadelphia Mint produced an enormous number of quarters for general circulation. The total mintage for the 1987 P Washington quarter exceeded 500 million coins, placing it firmly among the more common dates in the Washington quarter series. With such a large production run, it's no surprise that the 1987 P quarter remains widely available in circulation to this day. Millions of these coins still exist in pockets, piggy banks, cash registers, and bank rolls across the country. However, despite its commonness in worn condition, the coin's value can change significantly depending on a few important factors: condition, errors, and rarity. In top grades, the most significant factor in determining the value of a 1987 P Washington quarter is its condition. Coins are graded based on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A coin graded poor would be barely identifiable, while a coin graded mint state 70 would be flawless under magnification. Coins that have been in circulation typically fall between grades like very fine, extremely fine, or about uncirculated. These coins show noticeable wear on high points such as Washington's cheek, hair, and the eagle's feathers. In these conditions, the 1987 P quarter generally holds no numismatic premium and is worth face value. However, coins that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially those graded mint state 65 or higher, can carry a significant premium over face value. The highest valued examples are those with exceptional luster, sharp detail, and no visible marks or scratches. Even under magnification, the difference between a mint state 64 and a mint state 67 can be dramatic in terms of value. A coin graded MS64 might be worth only a few dollars, while a coin graded MS67, especially if certified by a reputable third-party grading service, could sell for hundreds of dollars, due to its scarcity in that condition. While the standard 1987 P Washington quarter is quite common, what makes certain examples unique are minting errors and die varieties. These errors can occur during the striking process and can take many forms, such as off-center strikes, where the coin's design is not properly aligned with the planchet, double die obverse or reverse, where the design appears double due to a misalignment during the die creation process, clipped planchets, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a miscut blank, die cracks or cuts, where breaks in the die cause raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. Collectors often seek out these types of errors, and depending on the severity, rarity, and visual appeal of the error, such coins can be worth significantly more than a standard issue. It's important to verify any suspected error coin through a reputable grading or error attribution service, as not all odd-looking features add value. Some are the result of post-mint damage and hold no numismatic interest. As of 2025, the collector market for Washington quarters remains strong, particularly for high-grade examples and rare errors. While most circulated 1987 P quarters are still only worth 25 cents, collectors continue to seek out the finest known examples for their collections, coins that have been graded by professional services and received high marks, particularly in the MS66 to MS67 range, attract premium prices due to their condition rarity. Even though millions were minted, only a small fraction survive in pristine condition with flawless surfaces and strong strikes. In 2025, the average value of an uncirculated 1987 P quarter in MS63 condition may range between $1 and $3. In MS65, values can climb to $10 or more. In MS66 or MS67, values may reach $50 or even exceed $100, depending on market demand and the visual quality of the coin. Coins with rare, dramatic errors or with perfect surfaces that have been independently certified can achieve much higher prices at auction. However, those are the exceptions rather than the rule. If you come across a 1987 P Washington quarter in your change or coin jar, what should you do with it? The answer depends on its condition. If the coin is well worn, scratched, or tarnished, it's best to simply spend it. But if it appears uncirculated, with full mint luster, no wear, and sharp details, it may be worth setting aside. Examine the coin under strong lighting or magnification. Look closely at the fields, the devices, and the rims. Any signs of wear, dullness, or contact marks will reduce its value. If the coin is truly pristine, you may want to consider submitting it for grading, especially if you are experienced in coin submission or believe it may grade MS66 or higher. If you're unsure about the coin's grade, you can take it to a local coin dealer or show it to fellow collectors at a coin show or online forum. There are also numerous resources that offer grading comparisons to help you evaluate your coin's potential. The 1987 P Washington quarter is not a rare coin in the traditional sense, but that does not mean it lacks collector interest or potential value. While most of these coins remain common in circulation, the key to value lies in exceptional preservation, certified condition, and rare errors. Coins that have been well cared for, never circulated, or found in original bank rolls may offer surprising value. But it's essential to approach modern coin collecting with realistic expectations. Not every coin from the past has become valuable simply because of age or appearance. Condition is everything. If you're building a complete set of Washington quarters or simply love collecting coins from your birth year or historical milestones, the 1987 P is a meaningful and affordable addition. And who knows, you may just stumble across a gem-quality specimen that turns an ordinary quarter into a serious collectible. Thanks for joining me today as we explored the 1987 P Washington quarter in depth. If you found this video helpful, educational, or interesting, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. The 1981 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This coin may look ordinary to most, but beneath its copper surface lies a story of history, rarity, and hidden value that could surprise you. Whether you are a casual collector or an avid numismatist, this video will explore every aspect of this 1981 penny, from its historical background and composition to identifying key features, assessing rarity, understanding market values in 2025, and tips on how to evaluate your own coin. Let's uncover the truth behind this small yet potentially valuable piece of American history. To truly appreciate the 1981 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny, it's essential to understand the historical context in which it was minted. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured the famous Lincoln portrait on the obverse, which has remained largely unchanged for over a century. The reverse initially displayed wheat ears, symbolizing prosperity, until 1958. In 1959, the reverse design was switched to the Lincoln Memorial, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design continued until 2008. The year 1981 sits well within this Lincoln Memorial era. It was a time when the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies primarily from copper alloys. Specifically, these pennies contained approximately 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that would later change due to rising copper prices and economic considerations. This composition is critical, as the copper content imparts a certain heft and distinct reddish color to the coin, setting it apart from later zinc-heavy pennies. In 1981, the Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of pennies without any mint mark. This was standard practice. Pennies struck at Philadelphia typically bear no mint mark, while those from other mints, such as Denver or San Francisco, do display their identifying letters. Philadelphia's 1981 penny mintage numbers were enormous, with billions of coins struck, which in ordinary circumstances makes them common and of low individual value. However, the story of value and rarity takes a different turn when we look closely at the coin's condition and potential varieties. How do you identify a genuine 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? The easiest way is by examining the area below the date on the obverse. A true Philadelphia issue will have no letter mint mark at all, while Denver coins carry a D and San Francisco coins carry an S. The 1981 no-mint mark penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams, reflecting its mostly copper composition. If your penny is significantly lighter, it may be a zinc core or a plated coin, which drastically impacts its value. The thickness and diameter remain consistent with the standard Lincoln cent dimensions, about 19 mm in diameter and 1.52 mm thick. Color is another important identifier. Uncirculated or well-preserved 1981 pennies exhibit a rich red or red-brown patina. This coloration fades to a dull brown in circulated coins due to oxidation and wear. Collectors refer to these color states as RD, red, RB, red-brown, and BN, brown. Red coins command higher prices because they retain their original mint luster. Beyond these basic characteristics, there are several varieties and potential errors that collectors look for. These include doubling of the date or letters, die cracks, and off-center strikes. While the basic 1981 no-mint mark penny is common, coins exhibiting these errors or exceptional conditions are relatively rare and sought after by collectors. Despite the enormous mintage, certain factors contribute to the rarity and desirability of the 1981 no-mint mark penny. First, coins surviving in pristine condition without circulation wear are scarce because these coins were widely used in everyday transactions. As such, finding a coin with full red surfaces and no blemishes is already an achievement. Second, error coins add another dimension of rarity. One of the most popular and collectible varieties is the double die obverse, where elements like the date or the word Liberty show visible doubling. Another sought-after error is the off-center strike, where the coin blank was not fully aligned under the die, producing an incomplete or misaligned impression. Additionally, die cracks and die breaks, which are small raised lines or blobs of extra metal caused by a cracked die, can increase a coin's appeal. Collectors also seek out coins with exceptional strike quality, meaning sharp, well-defined features with strong relief. This is important because some coins may have weak strikes where details are muted, even if uncirculated. While these error and variety coins are far less common than standard pennies, they command significantly higher prices due to their scarcity and collector demand. Now, let's talk about value. What is a 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth today, and what might it be worth in 2025? The answer depends heavily on condition and rarity. In circulated grades, meaning coins that have been used in everyday transactions with visible wear and color loss, the 1981 penny generally holds only face value or slightly above. This is due to its huge mintage and commonality. In such condition, you might see offers around 1 to a few cents, sometimes up to 10 or 20 cents if the copper value or collector interest is considered. Uncirculated coins, those that have never entered circulation and show no signs of wear, command a premium. In mint state grades like MS-60 to MS-64, these pennies typically sell for between $1 and $5. The exact value depends on the color state, with red or red-brown specimens fetching higher prices. High-grade examples, MS-65 and above, can see significant increases in value. In particular, coins graded MS-66 or MS-67 by professional services can be worth hundreds or even over $1,000. These coins must have exceptional surfaces, vibrant red coloration, and minimal contact marks. Coins graded at this level are exceedingly rare because most pennies from this era do not survive in such pristine condition. Error coins and varieties, depending on their severity and appeal, can range from modest premiums to hundreds of dollars. For instance, a mild off-center strike might sell for $10 to $35, while a pronounced double-die obverse in high grade can fetch hundreds. It is important to note that the 1981 penny marks one of the last years of mostly copper pennies before the transition to zinc cores, adding to its desirability among collectors who focus on the copper cent series. If you believe you have a valuable 1981 no-mint mark penny, evaluating its condition accurately is crucial. Here's a step-by-step guide. First, inspect the coin closely under strong light with a magnifier of at least 10x power. Look for any wear on Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and the date. Also examine the reverse, especially the Lincoln Memorial's details. Uncirculated coins will have full detail and sharpness. Second, weigh the coin on a precise digital scale. A genuine copper 1981 penny should weigh approximately 3.11 grams. Variations may indicate damage, plating, or an incorrect composition. Third, assess the color. Does the coin retain a rich red luster, or is it faded brown? Red coins are more desirable. Fourth, look for any doubling or die cracks by examining the date and letters closely. These varieties can significantly increase value. Fifth, compare your coin with graded examples online or in guides to approximate its grade. If you believe the coin is worth a substantial amount, consider professional grading and authentication through a reputable service. Lastly, always document the coin with clear, well-lit photographs showing both obverse and reverse. This will assist you if you decide to sell or submit the coin for grading. When it comes to selling or buying a 1981 no-mint mark penny, knowledge and caution are essential. The market can be volatile, especially for modern coins where condition and certification drive value. If you're selling a common circulated coin, expect offers close to face value or slightly more from coin dealers or bulk buyers. For higher grade or error coins, specialized auctions, coin shows, or online marketplaces focused on numismatics can yield better prices. Certified coins from professional grading companies tend to sell faster and command higher prices because buyers trust the grade and authenticity. buyers should always verify seller reputation, examine coin images carefully, and be aware of inflated prices. Especially for common grades. In 2025, demand for high-grade copper pennies remains strong among collectors and investors, especially as these coins represent the last years of largely copper coinage before the switch to zinc. Collecting 1981 no-mint mark pennies can be both a rewarding hobby and a potential investment, but success depends on careful research and understanding the nuances of condition, rarity, and market trends. To sum up, the 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a coin with a rich history and enormous production figures. While most coins in circulation hold only nominal value, exceptional specimens in mint state condition or those exhibiting unique errors and varieties can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In 2025, the market for these coins continues to evolve, driven by collector interest in copper pennies and the numismatic community's appreciation for well-preserved, rare examples. If you have a 1981 no-mint mark penny, take the time to examine it carefully. Consider professional grading for high-grade pieces, and stay informed about market trends to maximize your coin's potential value. We embark on a comprehensive journey into the fascinating world of one of America's most common yet intriguingly complex coins, the 1966 Jefferson nickel, specifically the version with no mint mark. At first glance, this nickel might seem like just another coin in your pocket, but as we'll explore in this video, certain specimens from this year hold remarkable historical significance, possess notable rarity, and in some cases, are worth a lot more than their 5-cent face value. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It featured the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse side, and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. This design has endured for decades, becoming one of the most recognizable and beloved series in American coinage history. By the mid-1960s, the United States was grappling with a coin shortage. The rising value of metal, combined with hoarding and increased economic activity, had put pressure on the mint to ensure an adequate supply of coins. To combat hoarding, particularly of silver coins, the U.S. Mint made the strategic decision starting in 1965 to temporarily remove mint marks from all coins produced for circulation. This policy was intended to prevent coin collectors and speculators from hoarding coins based on the mint of origin, thereby ensuring a more equitable distribution of coins nationwide. As a result, all 1966 nickels, regardless of whether they were produced at Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, carry no mint mark. This absence is a distinctive hallmark of nickels produced during this 3-year period, from 1965 through 1967. In 1966, over 156 million Jefferson nickels were minted, making it a very common coin in terms of sheer numbers. However, as we'll see, there are certain characteristics that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. The 1966 Jefferson nickel adhered to the same specifications as other nickels of the era. The coin was composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a durable and corrosion-resistant composition. It weighed 5 grams and measured approximately 21.2 millimeters in diameter. The obverse side featured the familiar left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed originally by Felix Schlag. Notably, starting in 1966, the coin bore Schlag's initials, FS, just below Jefferson's bust, a subtle but important detail distinguishing this and subsequent years from earlier issues. The reverse side presented Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia. The legend E pluribus unum appeared above Monticello, with United States of America and 5 cents, inscribed below. One of the most crucial design elements for collectors is the depiction of the steps at the base of Monticello. Sharp, fully detailed steps are known as full steps, a designation that significantly increases the coin's value. We will delve into this in the rarity section. Despite its enormous mintage, the 1966 Jefferson nickel carries several factors that influence its desirability among collectors. Primarily, the lack of mint marks means that distinguishing coins by mint origin is impossible for this year, but certain features separate common from rare specimens. First and foremost is the condition of the coin. Like any collectible, the better the grade, meaning the less wear and tear, the higher its value. Circulated examples with signs of heavy wear typically remain worth only face value or a modest premium. Conversely, coins in uncirculated or mint state conditions can command increasingly significant premiums, especially at higher grades such as MS65 and above. Secondly, the full steps designation is a critical rarity factor. The base of Monticello features a staircase, and coins with fully struck, sharp steps, where each step is clearly defined, are rare and highly sought after. Many 1966 nickels exhibit weak strikes where the steps appear blended or incomplete, which diminishes their collector value. The full steps variety is scarce because most 1966 nickels were struck with moderate pressure to maximize production volume, which often led to less sharply defined details. Therefore, finding a 1966 nickel with full steps in high mint state condition is a prized opportunity for collectors. Another aspect influencing rarity is the special mint sets, SMS, produced during 1965 to 1967. These sets were struck with superior dies and more care than regular circulation coins but were not true proofs. Some 1966 SMS nickels exhibit cameo or deep cameo contrast, where the raised devices appear frosted against a mirrored background, further increasing their desirability. So, what is the value of a 1966 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel in 2025? For the average person holding a circulated coin, the answer is straightforward: it is worth face value, or slightly more if the coin is in better than average condition. Most circulated 1966 nickels sell for around 5 to 20 cents on the collector market, depending on where. When we look at uncirculated coins, the picture changes dramatically. Coins graded between MS60 and MS62 might fetch anywhere from 50 cents to a few dollars, reflecting their better condition, and I appeal that in the mid-grade mint states such as MS63 and MS64, prices generally rise to between $2 and $8, with demand driven by collectors seeking nicer examples for their sets. Higher grade specimens, MS65 and above, can command significant premiums. An MS65 1966 nickel can be worth $12 or more. The rarity increases sharply at MS66, where prices can jump to $45 or more, depending on the coin strike quality and visual appeal. The ultimate premium is reserved for full step specimens in high grades. Because full steps 1966 nickels are rare, especially in MS65 and MS66 grades, these coins have sold at auction for several $1,000s, with prices sometimes exceeding $10,000 for exceptional examples with pristine surfaces and eye-catching luster. Special mint set coins from 1966, particularly those exhibiting cameo or deep cameo contrast, can command even higher prices. For example, a 1966 SMS Deep Cameo Nickel graded SP68 by a reputable grading service recently sold for nearly $10,000, showcasing the enormous collector interest in these premium collectors' coins. The value of the 1966 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel, like all collectible coins, is influenced by several factors beyond just condition and rarity. Strike quality: coins with sharp details, strong strikes, and perfect centering command higher prices. Surface quality: coins free from scratches, bag marks, discoloration, and other surface imperfections hold more value. Certification: coins that have been graded and encapsulated by trusted third-party grading services usually command better prices, providing buyers with confidence in authenticity and grade. Market demand: collector interest fluctuates with trends, economic conditions, and auction results. Supply: the availability of high-grade, full steps, or SMS coins at any given time affects prices, with scarcity driving premiums. If you have a 1966 Jefferson nickel, here's how to assess its potential value. Examine the reverse carefully, focusing on the steps of Monticello. Are the steps sharply separated and fully defined, or do they blend together? Look for the FS initials on the obverse, located just beneath Jefferson's portrait. Assess the coin's overall condition. Is the surface clean and lustrous, or does it show wear, scratches, or discoloration? Consider having the coin professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC, especially if it appears uncirculated or shows full steps. If the coin appears special, compare it with known images of full steps examples and SMS coins to confirm features. In summary, the 1966 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel occupies an interesting place in American numismatics. While millions were minted and many remain in circulation, the coin's unique features, most notably the absence of a mint mark due to the temporary policy, the introduction of designer initials, and the elusive full steps designation, make it a captivating subject for collectors. For everyday holders, the coin may only be worth a nickel or slightly more, but for the astute collector armed with knowledge, a high-grade full-step specimen or a special mint set example can represent a significant investment, sometimes worth thousands of dollars. As with all collectibles, condition, rarity, and market demand govern value, so careful examination and professional grading are recommended for those interested in selling or purchasing. If you're a collector or a casual enthusiast, keep an eye out for these details the next time you encounter a 1966 Jefferson nickel. You might just hold a hidden treasure. Thank you for joining me on this detailed exploration. If you found this video informative, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell for more numismatic insights. Feel free to leave questions or comments below, and I'll be happy to dive into other coins or years you'd like to explore. Happy collecting!